It's the Moto G Stylus for 2024, and I won't go as far to say as it's not worth $400 because I do think it is. It's a perfectly nice smartphone device, and $400 could be a reasonable price. However, because of the way Motorola handles sales, because of the way carriers treat this device and the deals that they offer, if you're paying $400, you're doing it very wrong. And I say that because link in the description does help the channel. If you're watching this on October 8th or 9th, Prime Day is next week. And if it's anything like the one in July, then the Moto G Stylus for 2024 might very well be on sale for $275 or less if you're looking for an unlocked version that you could just go ahead and pay and use with any carrier you like. But even if you don't take advantage of that, even if you're not somebody who's shopping Prime Day and looking to just buy it in one chunk, you can get this through Metro PC. There's so many carrier deals. This is the ideal 0% with a 2 or 3 year deal, 0%, $0 a month with a 2 or 3 year commitment to whatever carrier, or a sign on. You could buy it for $100 if you sign on with Metro, whatever it happens to be. This is an ideal carrier phone, and it's also one that you could pick up on a decent sale. Let me tell you something. It's not a cheap phone, or it's not a phone that you don't want. There's plenty of phones, cheap carrier phones, that you could pick up for $0 a month or a couple bucks a month or whatever it happens to be. But you don't want to use them because they're just so bad. But this one is a really, really nice phone and a really, really nice device. And let me tell you something. We talked the other day about the Samsung Galaxy S24 Fan Edition that's coming out later this week. And if Samsung were to envision and remodel and kind of reshape an actual Fan Edition device, well, the Moto G Stylus for 2024 would be a pretty good jumping off point, a pretty good base for a design of what a Fan Edition device in 2024 actually looks like. So let's talk about that. Number one, just a premium build. I love eco leather backs. At first I didn't love them. At first I was a bit thrown off by them. But as I've kind of gone on not using cases on my phones more and more, I really come to appreciate this. And when you're talking about budget-esque devices or mid-range devices, in the case of the Moto G Stylus, it's really nice to have that texture there instead of just kind of that flat plastic, that glossy plastic that's a fingerprint and smudge magnet. It's nice to have this. Plus, if you are rocking it without a case, nice textured feel to it. You get a little bit of grip. Headphone jack. Really something you don't see in any device, but certainly would be included in my Fan Edition. I don't know about you, but I'm sure my Fan Edition would include a headphone jack. Micro SD card expandable storage. That's great as well. Decent camera. Gorgeous display. Really nice display. This is where Motorola has done an excellent job on most of its devices over the last few years. If you're looking for something that is absolutely get your bang for your buck, you use the display 100% of the time you're using the phone. This is a gorgeous panel and at any price range. And every time I pick this phone back up and I start using it again, I am just absolutely amazed by how good this thing looks. And that's something you're going to take advantage of. 8 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 6 Gen 1. It does the job. It's pretty snappy. I really have no complaints. I haven't noticed any hiccups. Nice and smooth, no overheating. It's going to give you the power that you'd expect in this price range, and that's something that there's something to be said for that. I really like that at $275, especially if you're taking advantage of deals. You're really going to get something out of the Moto G Stylus for 2024. So you have all that, right? Camera is better. I'll link the full review at the end of this. You can see it's a nice saturated camera. It's a bit punchy. The colors might be a touch oversaturated for some people, but it's a nice camera. It's similar to what you find on the Moto Edge. So I personally, I like that camera. I thought it was a pretty decent camera. I like, if you're going to give me a cheaper camera, right? Or I shouldn't say that. If you're going to give me a camera on a mid-range or a budget device that isn't a pixel camera, all right, then I want something that's a little punchy. I want something that's a little saturated, because I feel like I'm just getting more out of that. Like, it's a better social media image. It's a better Facebook image. I want something that's got a little bit of heft to it, and that's what this camera system provides. And then, of course, you got the stylus, which I really like. If you had to tell me pound for pound, or ask me which kind of stylus suite do I prefer, I really like what Moto gives you on this. And you could go down the line. You got Write a Note, Moto Notes, Screenshot, Freeform Crop, Gift Maker, which I get more use out of than anything. Of all the features that I could tell you on any of the pen suites, I use the Gift Maker for just kind of, goofy images to friends, if I'm sending stuff through WhatsApp, if I got a video, one of my videos even, that I send a little GIF over. For 95%, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, for every time one of these phones comes out with a stylus that's not the S24 Ultra, 90% of what 90 to 95% of what you're using a stylus for, you will enjoy just as much on the Moto G Stylus. I understand it doesn't have air command. I understand you can't, hold it up and take a selfie with the button, and there's no Bluetooth connectivity. You will get as much of the experience that you'd want, especially saving that kind of money, out of the Moto G Stylus than you will out of the S Pen on the S24 Ultra. And to me, that's money, right? That's kind of what adds to a fan edition too, right? You get the S Pen. The Galaxy Note was kind of the fan edition of its day. So to have something like this in a package that's a great form factor, nice size display, gorgeous. It's a light frame. You got a plastic frame, so it's not a heavy device. It's a nice light device. You get phenomenal battery life. And I'm talking, over 8 hours of screen on time. Just monster battery life out of the Moto G Stylus for 2024. Moto did a fantastic job. And, early on in the reviews, are there things is everything perfect? No, it's not going to be for $400. It's certainly not going to be for $275. The mono speaker needs work. You could easily kind of cover this speaker, but you pick up a headphone jack, plug in a pair of headphones, you'll be all set to go. I really like what Moto's done here. And I understand in the early reviews, I went off on them because I just didn't love the software support. And I still don't love the software support. This is a device that could easily get 4 years of software support and 4 years of security patches. And it just gets tough after that year or two when you stop seeing those security patches coming in, when you're having issues getting maybe that one upgrade of Android that they're promising. You start to kind of question, hey, wait a minute here. Is this device secure? Can I use my financial and banking apps with this device? Am I still going to get, am I still secure here? Those are the questions I start to get from people when devices start to get out of support. And the shame of it is that this display is going to be gorgeous for years. The performance is going to be there for years. I just wish Samsung, slip of the tongue. I just wish Motorola gave us a touch more than they do with support. But a lot of people are saying, it's so cheap, just buy another one. Yeah, but people want to hang on to the devices. They've changed the Moto G Stylus series a few times since it's been out. The first one, the second one, they went back and forth there for a while on designs. This is a really nice design. There's no guarantee that the Moto G Stylus for 2025, if there even is one, will be the same kind of style that we like. You might want to hang on to this one. Then the one for 2026, maybe you don't like that one. You want to hang on to this one. So there are reasons why, beyond just the financial, why you'd want to hang on to a phone a little bit longer. And that's why I wish that Moto gave us that kind of support so we'd at least have the option to hang on to a phone that we like a little bit longer. But overall, let me tell you something. If you're on Prime Day, and I don't know what it is, I don't have any advance of the deals, but I imagine if that's the price in July for Prime Day, the Moto's got something in store for October. If you're looking at this device and it comes up $275 and you're looking to buy it unlocked, just one shot, you don't want to pay a couple bucks a month, you don't want to be locked to any individual carrier on a carrier deal, whoo, that is tough to beat. This is a phenomenal device, and just having come from a whole line of flagships, iPhone 16 Pro Max, Pixel 9 Pro XL, S24 Ultra, and coming back to this, I tell you, not as big of a drop-off in performance on the things that you're going to do than you think. Really nice phone. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.